outrageous predictions on this Thanksgiving for Ohio State and Illinois on Saturday. Buckeyes favored by more than 4 touchdowns against the Fighting Illini. Doug Lesmerises, Stephen Means, and Nathan Baird from cleveland.com and here on our cleveland.com YouTube channel. Stephen, we'll start with you. What's your outrageous prediction for this game?
So my outrageous prediction is Justin Fields completes his first 25 passes of the day. I think he'll be in the 30 range, which doesn't sound that outrageous given what he was doing the first couple of weeks of the season, which is why it's 25 and not maybe 15 or 20. But I think he just has a point to prove. He was very inefficient last week and very out of his character, and I think he wants to get back to that. I think they'll take some deep shots, but I also think they'll throw some intermediate passes, maybe some screen passes as well. Just mix it up more, and not everything has to be a 25-yard plus pass to Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson, and he'll just kind of dime it around and get his percentage back up. And I think this is a good game to do that in because Illinois' defense isn't going to stop this offense, so there's no need to go out there and feel like you have to throw 40-yarders every single play.
What a world we live in where your outrageous prediction is that the quarterback completes his first 25 passes and we're all like, I don't know, that might not be outrageous enough. That's the world we're in. Crazy. I mean, seriously. I mean, like normally it's like he'll complete his first 8 passes and it's like 8 in a row. That's impossible. Crazy. Now we're at 25. And I don't know. I didn't bat an eye at that. I mean, that fits right in. It's not normal, but it's like it's a normally outrageous kind of prediction. Because if you had said 15, we would have like beeped you and been like, nope, not outrageous enough. 15, that's no big deal. Nathan, what you got?
This guy was 20 for 21. So
yeah.
So mine is not very sexy. It's very numbers oriented, but I think it could be something that really affects the game. Illinois comes in averaging 222.4 yards rushing per game. That's number 20 in the country. They're averaging 5.2 yards per carry. So it's a team that's had a lot of success running the ball. They just haven't played really any defense that's worth a crap yet. And Ohio State's defense has done a really good job as far as stopping around. We've talked, obviously it was a factor against Indiana. It was a factor against Penn State. So I'm taking Illinois under 125 rushing yards. That's almost 100 off of what they average per game. And they're averaging 40 some carries per game. So that would mean Ohio State's holding them to about 3 yards per carry. So that's both, I think, Ohio State continuing its success as far as limiting the rush, but also what it's going to do, probably getting to Brandon Peters and getting a decent number of sacks this week to pull that number down even more.
My outrageous prediction is also related to Justin Fields. So far this season, Justin Fields was sacked 5 times by Indiana. The previous game sacked twice, sacked 3 times. Going back to last year, sacked 4 times against Clemson, sacked 5 times, nursing the injury against Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game. So far in his Ohio State career, he's only had 2 games where he wasn't sacked at all. And it was against Rutgers and Maryland in the middle of last year. So I'm going to say no sacks. No sacks against Justin Fields. Illinois is actually okay. They average 2.2 sacks per game, which is 6th per game in the Big Ten. So this to me is more about what, again, I continue to say is I'm just fascinated by the Ryan Day, Justin Fields conversation of hold the ball, get rid of the ball, take a risk reward, give up a sack, throw a pick, whatever. And I just think they're going to lean on adjust the risk a little bit and maybe pull back, and they might have some quicker throws that get the ball out of his hands a little bit. I'll be curious to see if they run like a few more screens, a few more bubble screens to the receivers. Are they just running quick little slants? And then when the pass rush comes, does he just get rid of it? Does he not? Because and again, I don't have a problem with the sacks, but I think there's going to be some reaction to what happened against Indiana last week. So it might be a one-time thing, and they'll get very relatively conservative for them in terms of not holding the ball. And then they can start back from this foundation and start working back toward, okay, yeah, make plays. But I just think they're going to dial it back, and the result will be none. That will be the 3rd time in his Ohio State career if that happens.
This is a good game to make that an outrageous prediction, because if you do it next week, it's not nearly as outrageous because Illinois is 4th in the Big Ten in sacks per game, and then Michigan State is, 12th. So it's a little easier to make that happen next week than this week. So this is a quality week to do that.
It is not outrageous to say that Michigan State is terrible and can't do anything. So, yeah, Illinois has more of a pulse than the Spartans at this point. So, all right, we'll see what happens with Justin Fields. We'll see what happens with the Ohio State run defense. Make sure you are listening to our Buckeye Talk podcast, wherever you find podcasts. Big post-game pod in the hours after this noon kickoff, Ohio State versus Illinois. We'll catch you guys then. For now, thanks for watching at cleveland.com and on our cleveland.com YouTube channel.